Did you know that nearly 80% of people will not finish this video? It is not necessarily because the content isn't interesting, but because your attention span may have already been permanently damaged. We live in an era where the smartphone has become an extension of our bodies, almost like a piece of clothing. But let's ask a hard question. Are you the nanny taking care of your phone, or is your phone the nanny acting as a babysitter for your life? You guard it, charge it, and jump at every notification. Conversely, it dictates your schedule, manages your social circles, and demands your undivided attention. If you feel like you cannot put it down, you are not alone. You are likely addicted. In fact, many experts now argue that smartphone addiction is the greatest non-drug addiction of the 21st century. The physiological and psychological responses it triggers in the brain are alarmingly similar to those of substance abuse. Think about it in 3 stages. First, the activation of the reward system. When you use your phone, whether scrolling through a feed or receiving a message, the ventral tegmental area, VTA, in your brain releases dopamine. This neurotransmitter is responsible for motivation and pleasure, creating a sense of excitement that keeps you coming back for more. Second, the development of tolerance. Much like a drug user who needs higher doses to feel the same high, a phone user eventually finds that an hour of scrolling is no longer enough. You start spending more time, checking your phone during breaks, in bed, or even while doing other work, just to satisfy that craving. Finally, there is the withdrawal. When you cannot access your phone, you might feel anxiety, restlessness, or even sudden outbursts of anger. This is not just boredom. It is a genuine withdrawal symptom. You might blame your lack of willpower, but you are fighting a battle against sophisticated psychological engineering. App designers use a 6-step framework to keep you locked in. The first trap is push notifications. That ding, or vibration, is essentially a magical spell that forces you to check your screen. It exploits your human desire for novelty. When you receive a notification, your brain releases dopamine, reinforcing the habit. Eventually, you start checking your phone even when there is no notification, conditioned by the anticipation. The second trap is the infinite scroll and autoplay. If a screen stays static, your interest wanes. By making the feed endless, developers eliminate the natural stopping points, dragging you into a time black hole. This is compounded by the fear of missing out, FOMO, a psychological state where you worry that something significant is happening while you aren't looking. The third trap is the short-form video. By delivering content in 15 to 30-second bursts, apps can spike your emotions and then immediately reset, mimicking the mechanics of a slot machine. A gambler pulls a lever expecting a win. You scroll a feed expecting a hit of entertainment. Even if you experience boredom between videos, the occasional big win, a hilarious or fascinating clip, keeps you pulling the lever. The fourth trap involves likes, comments, and shares. These aren't just social features. They are tools to build an online identity and satisfy your need for social validation. Even if you don't post, observing others and interacting gives you a sense of belonging in a digital space, often prioritizing your online self over your physical reality. The fifth trap is personalized recommendations. Algorithms track your every click to ensure that the content you see is tailored to keep you glued to the platform. This plays on your curiosity, that insatiable need for the next new thing. Finally, the sixth trap is the visible display of follower counts and view numbers. This gamification transforms basic social interaction into a performance. Platforms use these numbers to incentivize creators to post more, which in turn gives users more content to consume. It is a closed-loop system designed to maximize engagement, not your well-being. So, how do you break the cycle? You don't need to throw your phone away, but you do need to regain control. First, quantify your usage. Download a tracking app, or use your phone's built-in screen time feature to see exactly where your hours are vanishing. Awareness is the first step toward change. Second, set strict boundaries. Designate phone-free hours. For example, commit to a focus period from 9 to 12 every morning where your phone remains off-limits, regardless of messages. Treat your focus as sacred. Third, create physical distance. When you need to concentrate, Leave your phone in another room or a drawer. By adding friction, making it harder to reach the device, you disrupt the automatic habit loop. Remember, technology itself is neutral. It is the usage that determines whether it serves you or enslaves you. Habits are hard to break because they are deeply ingrained, but they are not impossible to change. The design of these apps may be incredibly advanced, but your capacity for self-discipline is stronger if you choose to exercise it. Start today, set your boundaries, and reclaim your time. Your life is happening in the real world, not behind a screen. Like and subscribe for more cognitive insights. Have a nice day.